Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at some really intricate source material. It's less a straightforward story, more like uncovering a historical conspiracy, involving time travel, propaganda, the works.
Absolutely. It's this layered narrative focusing on a historian, this
Yeah.
legendary warrior figure, and, well, the shocking idea that a whole country's history was basically faked repeatedly.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack this whole thing. We want to get into the core tragedy, how propaganda shapes it, and figure out who this villain is who apparently engineered this entire national myth.
And it all seems to start with two people caught in the cycle. Owen Mallory, he's the historian from, let's say, the present in these sources,
Okay.
and Una Everlasting, who is this huge historical figure, a hero from his past, and somehow an old yew tree in this strange book are key to it all.
A book and a tree. Okay, let's get into it. Owen Mallory first. Who is this guy?
Well, he's not your standard academic historian. The sources paint him as a war veteran. Lance Corporal, 2nd Battalion.
So he's seen things.
Definitely. And he's struggling. There's mention of PTSD, these lapses of awareness, confusing dreams with memories. It sounds pretty severe.
And that connects to the history he's studying, right? He got a medal named after Una Everlasting.
He did, yeah. The Everlasting Medal of Valor.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He apparently calls it a farce.
Wow. So even before he gets pulled into this time loop mess,
Yeah.
he already suspects the official story of heroism is, well, questionable.
Exactly. That skepticism is already there. Then comes the artifact that pulls them in. It's a book.
The one you mentioned, The Death of Una Everlasting.
That's the one. Bound in this rich red heartwood, bronze hinges. And it has this familiar circular symbol on it. This book is literally the time machine.
Okay, so how does it work? How does he travel?
It's pretty brutal, actually. A woman named Vivian Rolfe forces him back.
Forces him.
Yeah. She makes him put his palm on a blank page in the book, and then she stabs his hand.
Stabs him. With what?
She calls it a letter opener, but the description is clear. It's a slim, sharp knife. That act, the blood on the page, that's what sends him back to Una's time.
Okay, that's incredibly violent. And not exactly voluntary research.
Yeah, not at all. And here's the really insidious part. Every time he completes a loop and returns to his own time, his native lifespan, he forgets the specifics of what just happened.
He forgets the history he just lived.
The crucial details, yeah, they fade. It's like his mind resets, but his body doesn't.
What do you mean?
The sources say the body remembers. He feels the phantom pains of the wounds, the echo of the cold, the trauma of the experiences, even if he can't recall exactly why.
So he's this walking, wounded contradiction, a historian whose own physical experience screams that the official record is wrong, even if his conscious mind keeps losing the proof.
Precisely. And that brings us to why Rolfe is doing this to him. It's not about observing history.
She wants him to write it, right?
Exactly. He's there to create a specific narrative, a propaganda piece, essentially. A eulogy for Una that cements her legacy in the way Rolfe needs it cemented. To justify, well, everything that comes after, even Una's death.
Okay, so the mission itself is corrupt from the start. He's being tortured into writing fake history. So if the foundation is a lie, who was Una Everlasting? The myth says Sir Una, the drawn blade of dominion, the virgin saint.
Yeah, pious, chaste, loyal to Queen of Anne. That's the official version.
But the reality Owen finds when he's sent back.
Oh, completely different. He finds this weary, hard-bitten woman, fierce, yeah, but cynical. She doesn't fit the pious mold at all. She seems to actively defy the expectations that her later legend demands. Survival seems more her focus than sainthood.
And the biographical details must be pretty shocking compared to the official story then.
They really are. Owen learned she had plural fathers.
Plural fathers, like multiple dads.
Yeah, that's how the source puts it. Something definitely not in the official histories or songs. They apparently called her Little Dragon. No mother mentioned.
Little dragon. Okay. And what about the whole virgin saint thing?
Completely debunked. Una just casually tells Owen about spending a happy fortnight in Morvaine's bed.
And Morvaine was?
A nun.
Wow, okay. So, yeah, the virgin saint narrative required some serious editing centuries later.
Colossal sanitization, yeah. It shows how much they had to scrub to create the symbol they needed.
So where does her story, the real one, begin? The legend mentions a yew tree.
It does. That part seems rooted in some truth. She sought revenge under a yew tree after one of her fathers was killed by the brigand prince. That's supposedly where she drew the famous sword, Valiance.
Ah, Valiance, the unbreakable sword that built the Dominion. The ultimate symbol of her legitimacy.
Right. Except That's maybe the biggest lie of all.
What? The sword isn't real.
Well, it's real, but not in the way the myths claim.
Yeah.
Una herself tells Owen she once got so angry she smashed Valiance into 10 pieces.
She broke the unbreakable sword.
She did, but then the hilt just came back to her hand the next day, whole again.
Magic.
Manufactured magic. That's what Owen eventually figures out.
Yeah.
It wasn't the sword itself that was inherently magical or unbreakable.
So, like, stage magic.
Yeah.
Illusions.
More like engineered artifacts, it seems. Vivian Rolfe, the same woman sending Owen back, had multiple identical swords made, probably using some kind of advanced tech or alchemy that looked like magic. The point was the appearance of divine power and legitimacy. Pure political theater.
This Vivian Rolfe sounds like she's behind everything.
She absolutely is. And Owen eventually learns her true identity, or rather, identities. She was the former Minister of War, the Chancellor.
Wait, don't tell me.
Yep. She is Queen Yvan I, the legendary founder of the Dominion herself.
No way. The Queen is the one orchestrating the time loop and the propaganda?
The very one. Her goal wasn't just founding a nation, it was creating a system for eternal political control. An endless loop based on engineered history. The everlasting cycle, they call it.
And Una's death is central to that. Why?
Vivian, or Yvan, actually explains it. She says, the tragedy is absolutely critical. If there's something lost, there's something to restore.
That's incredibly cynical. So keep the population needing restoration.
Exactly. Una the Martyr serves two roles. The legend, the Virgin Saint, is the inspiration to every schoolgirl, promoting the ideals Yvan wants. But the tragic reality of her death is a warning. Deviate, question, step out of line, and look what happens. It justifies the monarchy's power through perpetual mourning and loyalty.
So the tragedy fuels the engine of state. And does this engine need constant retuning?
It seems so. Owen realizes the history books keep changing slightly over time. The villains in the everlasting cycle get updated to match whoever Dominion's current enemies are. First, it was the Norns. Later, it's the Hinterlanders.
So they use Una's story to justify present-day wars and occupations.
Constantly. Dominion does not forget becomes the rallying cry, based on a history that Yvan herself keeps tweaking. It's not just editing biographies, it's weaponizing the past for current political aims and covering up inconvenient truths.
Like war crimes.
Definitely. Take the Black Bastion, Una's supposed greatest victory.
What really happened there?
Owen discovers it wasn't a glorious battle, it was a massacre. The hillmen inside wouldn't surrender, so Una used fire arrows coated in this highly toxic oil, burned with a weird blee flame, apparently wiped them out. Yvan later spun it as a heroic siege.
Toxic oil. Blue flames. That's dark. And to make the tragedy stick, Yvan needed a traitor to kill Una, right?
She did. Ansel of Volan, the Knight of Hurts. He's manipulated into stabbing Una in the back in the throne room. That seals the martyrdom.
And in the official story, Una kills Ansel immediately after in revenge.
That's the legend. But Owen and Una figure out the truth is more complex. Ansel allowed Una to kill him.
Why? Guilt.
Probably. He was loyal to Yvan, followed her order to betray Una, but couldn't live with it. Dying by Una's hand was his only way out, and it conveniently completed the tragic narrative Yvan needed. Everyone plays their part in her script.
Until Owen and Una realize what's happening, they see themselves as a pair of gears turning together in the belly of that engine.
Right. And Owen understands that the eulogy he's supposed to write, the final piece of propaganda, is what locks the whole cycle in place, validates Yvan's power.
So they have to break out. How?
They need to destroy the anchors, connecting them to Yvan's engineered timeline. Two things.
Okay.
First, the book, The Death of Una Everlasting. Owen figures out that's how Yvan tracks them, maybe even controls the loops through its manufactured magic. So they have to burn it.
Makes sense. Destroy the time machine. What's the second
The
thing?
U tree, the origin point. It's not just symbolic, it's tied to the magic somehow. They discover the source is a seed hidden in the heart of every dragon, which apparently burns on even after their death.
A dragon seed. Like the red glassy thing Owen saw impressions of.
That seems to be it. They need to destroy that seed, the source of the U tree's power that anchors Yvan's history. So they toss it in the fire along with the book.
And does it work? Do they escape?
They do. By destroying the book and the seed, they sever the connection. They use the last bit of the book's power, maybe, to send themselves somewhere completely off Yvan's map.
Where do they end up?
Back in time, but before Dominion was even founded. They find themselves in the wild wood, near a yew tree that's still young. Centuries before Owen's time, and about a century before Una's story was supposed to begin.
So they strand themselves outside the loop entirely.
Exactly. They adopt new names, live simply, raise children. They finally break Queen Yvan's cycle.
Wow. That's quite an escape. It really drives home that point about history being a story.
It really does. Like Professor Sawbridge says in the source, every story serves someone. Yvan's story served her empire. This whole saga is a masterclass in how power can manipulate narrative, memory, everything, really, across huge spans of time.
But Owen doesn't stop writing, does he? Even in their hidden life.
No, it seems the historian in him can't quite quit. He carries a notebook, starts writing again. But not histories of heroes and empires this time.
What the?
Just small things, the sources say. Stories of their green and secret place, maybe tales featuring a nameless knight, likely Una living outside the reach of empire. This time the story serves them. Love, survival, not power.
That's a powerful shift, a story serving life, not the state.
But there is one last little detail in the sources that's, well, kind of chilling, actually.
Oh.
It's about Una's horse, Hen. Just a passing mention that Vivian Rolfe had apparently tried to engineer the perfect warhorse, too. She'd sent Hen back in time about 20 times before they got absolutely demented.
20 times before Owen even showed up.
Yeah, so if a horse could endure that many loops, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden cycles, what other failed experiments, or maybe even hidden loyalties are buried in the history of a world where someone can just keep hitting rewind? What else might still be caught in Yvan's loops, waiting?
Huh. That is definitely food for thought. What else is lurking in the timeline? Thank you for unpacking all that with us today.
My pleasure. It's a fascinating, if disturbing, narrative.
Indeed. Join us next time for another deep dive.